Today we're going to look at some point of difference picks to finish the team, and some of these picks I might go for. I'm not sure. My team's pretty much finished, so I don't really have a lot of room. But yeah, wouldn't go for all of them. But these are some picks that you can consider that are on the cheaper side that you can consider. So some pods in defense, and yeah, there are risks with all of them. Hence why they're low selections. First up is Zach Williams, and this is the classic risk-reward pick. So Zach Williams is 468k. We know his role, halfback, can go into the midfield and score pretty well there. So showing, I think his 3-round average is 98. So that's pretty good, and I think the only way I would go for Zach Williams, because of his injury history, he gets knocks, soft tissue injuries, all of it, but it's only 7 games and he has no bye, so you can see the upside, especially at that price. If you have issues with cash generation, but you have a fair few trades remaining, and we're probably going to get more trades, it looks like, which makes it, which pushes the case for Zach Williams, I think you can go for this pick. I think he's going to score well. It's just a durability thing. So only in, I can't read that, 3% of teams right now. Yeah, he's a star player, Zach Williams. He's out of contract, I think, so he's going to command a lot of money. If you have the trades and you're willing to take this risk, if you're backed into a corner for money, I would go for Zach Williams. But yeah, I don't have the trades to for this sort of risk, so I'm not getting Zach Williams, but one you can consider. The next pick is an interesting one, and we're going to talk just briefly about Alex Witherden. Now his 3-round average, he had that, I think, at 170, so 3-round average of 118. Coming to the Brisbane side, they're probably going to play a lot more in Queensland. I don't think they'll leave Queensland for the rest of the year, as far as I know. I don't know. But yeah, probably going to play a lot more in Queensland for the rest of the year. They're winning as well. So Alex Witherden a few years ago was touted as a halfback, a pig of defence, basically. So I'm not sure what happened to him. I heard some issues of work ethic. He's come back into the side, and he's flying at the moment. He's just racking them up at halfback, using the ball pretty well. So this is 475k. I think you'd go Williams over Witherden, to be honest. But yeah, I think he's shown he can score in the past. I couldn't do this pick. I think Williams makes a lot more sense than Witherden. But thought I'd just speak about it. I still expect him to score well, and yeah, in a winning team, I don't think it's the worst option, but one to look at for 470k. Yeah, but I would not do it. But yeah, he's in 3%, so a few people have jumped on him. Yeah, so playing really well, Alex Witherden. Now, in the midfield, the two pods that I like, I spoke about this man the other day in a video, and I think Eno is getting this guy in. I think he already has him in. Tim Taranto. And Tim Taranto, his trajectory, like every year, he's just gotten better and better and better. Really hard worker off the field. In 1% of teams, really interesting. So 539k. I've gone for Cogs instead, but I see no problem with Taranto. Yeah, Cogs, with Cogs, there's a small chance he might spend time forward for a larger portion of the game. Taranto's the man in that side, so I don't think he's going to be moving much from that centre square. I think Hopper's the one getting the most CBAs. But yeah, Taranto, the role was definitely there. In AFL Fantasy, I know people don't care about that here, but he was probably, I think he was number 1 or number 2 for most of last season in terms of scoring, up there with Brodie Grundy. So he can definitely score on the weekend. His 3rd game back, he had 32 touches. I think efficiency was down, so he only scored 90 odd, but 32 in a shortened game. Coming back from injury, he looks like he's roaring to go. And even then, still a 3-round average of 109. For 539k, with GWS's easy fixture, I like this pick. I really do. I might get him at M8. It just depends on where I'm at for money, because I'm pretty tight for money. But yeah, I like the Taranto pick. Huge pod. The next pick we have is Taylor Adams, and Taylor Adams has the midfield to himself. He scores better without Treloar. It's a funny one because his preparation off the field has been really, really good for a long time. Really professional. And that reflects in his consistency. But he's had a few. I think he had a pec injury. He's had probably a hamstring injury as well. But this year he's been pretty good. Collingwood, they can't afford for Taylor Adams to get injured. The Pies. But only in 6% of teams. 534k, does have the bye. I'd go Taranto over Taylor Adams purely because of the bye rounds. He doesn't have a bye. But 5 round average of 110, midfield to himself, and probably not going to go super big like a 170 or anything, but just going to cruise to, I don't know, between 100 and 130 every week. So I think this is a good pick if you want him. Probably the last week to get him because his break even is 57. Definitely underpriced. Is that injury risk? So for me, I prefer Taranto to Adams. But one pick you can definitely go for. If you're looking for a mid under 550, I think it's Adams and Taranto. I'm sure there's other options that might do well, but for me, I like Adams. I like Taranto. Adams to injury risk for me, not certainly a valid selection. Now in the rucks, we've seen a few rucks pop up now that people are trading out Gorn. So it's really, who do you trade your R2 to? Assuming we all have Grundy. I've gone with Rowan Marshall, and Goldie's playing well. I think he's dropped off from his start of the year, and Goldie's a bit more expensive, but because we're looking at pods, we'll go with Marshall, and he can actually score pretty well with Ryder in the team. He does a lot of work around the ground. If we get Rowan as a forward next year, lock him in straight away. 3 round average of 107, a 5 round average of 110. I think he'll finish better than Goldstein, to be honest. It depends if Goldie hits form or not. Scoring very well, and it was a tough game last week against Geelong where they just got hammered the entire game. So very hard to score in that sort of game. But Saints should win more than they lose based on how they're going. Play the Bombers this week. That is a team he should score well against. I'd take Rowan over Goldstein. Can't be certain, but I like the way Rowan, what he does around the ground. His tap work's okay. It's not the best, but even with Ryder in the team, he's still scoring pretty well. I think he had a 3 round average before this week of 130 or something like that. So, big fan of Rowan Marshall. Pretty consistent footballer, and definitely, I think maybe slightly slower start to the year, but playing really, really well at the moment. So I like Rowan. I've got Nick Nat Nui because of the bye. Nick Nat's not a pod either. Not that matters when you're picking a player, but if you don't like Nick Nat for whatever reason, he might get rested, whatever. I don't mind the Rowan Marshall pick. Now the forwards. These are the two that I've considered the most out of this lot. The first one I've spoken about on the channel a fair bit. It's Darcy Parish, who I think when he moved into the midfield last year from round 7 onwards, he averaged 93. His 5 round average since moving to the midfield is 93. And it's pretty hard to pick a forward right now. A lot of them are pretty risky. People are looking to get in Jai Simpkin, but a little bit iffy on it. So I do like the Parish pick. There is a risk that Stringer comes back and takes his mid-minutes, but you'd think that Stringer coming back goes forward, coming back from injury, but we're not sure. He played really well, Parish, on the weekend. And I think with no bye, I think that pushes the case for Darcy Parish. 440k, that's not a bad price. I've been thinking about it, but I am a little short on money, so I'm going to have to go for a 400k F6. So, I don't mind Darcy Parish, and he's played really well. Scored 110 on the weekend, so really good from Parish. Is a risk that he might move forward, but I think he's played himself into that midfield. All of the forwards, if you're going for a cheap forward, all of them have risks. The next one, now I respect myself too much to do this, and I thought about it. I spoke to the Discord, and they said, don't do it. For me, I can't pick key forwards because I'll just end up trading them out. I don't have the patience or the discipline with key forwards. We'll speak briefly about one Jeremy Cameron, Big Jezza. plays tonight, so in 2 hours actually. If I can spell Jeremy. 400k with the Giants fixture. Starting to hit some decent form, which is not really. 3-round average of 66, that's not great. But we know what key forwards are, they're up and down. Coming off a break, yeah, their fixture, the hard teams are out of the way for the Giants. I think it's just West Coast that should be an issue for them. That's about it. 400k, I've seen worse options, and no buyer. I don't mind this pick. I thought about it and I'm like, no, I can't do it to myself. It's too risky. But if you're feeling it, then you can go for Big Jazza. But yeah, very risky. So hopefully this video helped. Maybe you've considered some pods that you weren't considering before. But yeah, so thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys soon.